All right. Hello, everyone. Welcome to tonight's pop up live. All right. Just going to see who's around. I'm going to wait for some people to come in and we're just going to have a discussion today. I have some great tips and ideas. And I'm just going to wait. Thank you for those who are watching now. Behind the bushes, hello. And those who are coming into the chat room. Also, those who are watching a replay of this video, this is more as of sharing educational video, not only for the people that are on Snap, but also for the working class people. All right. So I have some information and some great tips for you guys, and maybe share a little of my testimony, what has helped me in hard times. Okay. So that maybe you could probably use some of my tips and my ideas that worked for me that will work for you and keep food on the table. Okay, so this is not a yarn video. So if you're looking for that, it's not going to be here in this video today. Tonight I would like just to help the people that are um, in America that are going through this government shutdown, and supposedly the government is not shut down anymore, but Trump does have some new rules about SNAP recipients, and they're not giving you a lot of time. They're not giving a lot of time to get a job. And yeah, so we're going to talk about that more in the live. Let me just get my live here so I could see the chat room better, even though I could see it here. Also, I'm going to share something my daughter sent me about that, the new policy with SNAP. So, if you are a person that's on SNAP, or even um, working and on SNAP, disabled and on SNAP, and if you love people and caring about people, want to help people, help yourself, then this is the life for you. All right, so I'm going to share with you something my daughter sent me, and that's how we're going to start the conversation. Hopefully, she did not delete it. She's one of those people that she deletes a lot of stuff from her text, but I have it. All right. So we'll wait a few more minutes. Today I'm having water. Yep, because I already had my 1 cup of coffee today. I had a very interesting but blessed day today. Praise God. God be the glory. May the Lord bless you and your family. Amen. And your neighbors. All right. So I'm going to share you some information with you guys. This was sent to me. It says, "Are you ready for doing any of the following work requirement included?" All right. So let's get started. Also, this is not just for SNAP people. Okay. So I see people coming into the live and leaving. This is not just for SNAP people. This is for everybody. You need to wake up. You need to wake up if you're sleeping. You need to be doing more than what you're doing for your family. If you're not prepping, if you're not preparing yourself, it's very important. Okay. So you even see this in the Bible where famine was coming to the land, and they had to be prepared for it, and so that humanity could stay alive. Because what does humans need? Food, water, and shelter. But we cannot live without food. We cannot live without water. You probably could live without food for a little bit, but then you're gonna still need food. You could survive on water, but not for very long. Okay. So we're gonna talk about groceries today. Okay. We're gonna talk about the month of November and what to do for the month of December. All right. November, and what to do for these, what to do now. before December comes, but what to expect for December. Okay. December. All right. So, all right. First, I want to start with this information she sent me. I will show it to you on screen. If you have not received this or looked it up, I think she looked it up. So I'm going to, you could stop this at the replay of this video. You could stop it and take a screenshot, whatever you want to do. But this is the information here. I hope you guys could see it. Let me see if the camera will go to focus. Right there. Right there. Let me dim the lights here on my phone a little more, so you could see this video. This live is different because it's not about us, always about what we're doing and with crafts and stuff, and only about us. We need to be more concerned for others. So, not that you're not, but that's what I'm saying. I'm just trying to share it right here with you guys. You can read it. But it's not going into focus. Right there. Work requirement included. If you want to take a little screenshot on that, go ahead. Okay. Take a screenshot. All right. Now, I'll read it to you. Are you ready? Doing any of the following. Work requirement for people getting SNAP. Work at least 8. This is let me stop. Let me just stop for a minute and say something else. So in some places in America, the SNAP program has been released for November 100%, although in some states they did not release the requirement from the judge to Donald Trump. Okay, so they wanted to release only, first they was like half, and then one time they say 20% of what you get a month. But a lot of the states in America had released 100%. They already had these funds from the government, and before the government could retrieve it, they released it to the people. Okay, because they're not liking what's going on. All right. So shout out to those states that gave out 100% to the SNAP recipients in their state. Okay. Because this is not just that lazy people don't want to go to work. This affects a lot of other people. Yes, there are lazy people that don't want to go to work and is living out of the system for maybe decades. Okay. I understand that. People that are able to work. I understand that, what they're saying about that. But also there are people here people on it that are veterans that fought for this country, that lost a leg and a limb in the war because they fought for this country. Okay. And so now they're disabled. Okay. Veterans. Also handicapped people, elderly people, even working class people that their income is not high enough so that they be able to live week by week or month by month with their salary when they got to pay all these high rents, all these high food prices, all these high prices for your medicine. Okay. Pharmaceutical is the high prices is up there, right? You can't hardly buy clothes for your kids. All right. And so forth and so on. All right. So now that I got that out the way, it says working requirement includes work at least 80 hours a month or make at least $217.50 a week. Working body citizens. This is for, not the handicap. They're not talking about the handicap. Okay. They're talking about people that could work. Being in a job training, but they have a requirement for handicaps, and we're going to talk about that too. Being a job training or work program such as SNAP with SNAP ENT program they have for at least 80 hours a month. Volunteer for at least 80 hours a month somewhere. Okay, your church, your community, somewhere. Do a mix of work, which means you could do a mix. You could do training and volunteer Sorry, that was my grandson. You could do a training and volunteer that adds up to 80 hours a month. This is their requirement. Okay. Also, you have to do that now. You have to do that now if you want your December SNAP. If not, you're not getting it, according to them. They're giving you, I believe, to the end of November to be able to send the document to the state, your social worker, the state. Okay, you can also do that online and through their website. So now what they're requiring for the disabled, that if you're disabled, you need to send them proof that you're disabled. You either could any kind of proof, like your doctor's a letter from your doctor, and also if you're getting disability, you need to send them that information in order for you to get SNAP for December. If they don't get this by the end of the month, like they give you like they said they were going to send people a letter to the mail. So on that letter it would tell you up to what time you have to for them to receive this. So my guess to you is don't mail it. If you have time, my advice to you is not to mail it. If you have time to drive up there to the state welfare office and bring it to them or putting it in their Dropbox they have, go ahead and do that, then mailing it. Okay. So that's what I wanted to share with you today. Now, I want to share some tips of now that you have this information, I want to just talk to you about this. Okay. I'm trying to make this video too long. Number one, if you are a working body, able to work body citizen, go find a job right now. Okay. Go online and search for jobs. There's so many jobs you could do at home. Even moms that have too many kids to put on a daycare and she can't afford a daycare. There are so many jobs you could do at home. Okay. Get a job right now to secure money for you and your family, because the government has just not started with the shutdown. This is something that I heard about last year in January of 2024, that they were going to have new policy for people on SNAP. Okay, so now we're in 2025. It's almost 2026. So in July, they had said, well, that they had announced that they were going to cut off some people, right? Like if you're a certain age gap, and if you're not disabled, if you're able to work. This was in the summer. Now they have this government shutdown, and then this all set about because it was the government shutdown. They wanted to stop the SNAP and other programs. So this is not just overnight, guys. This is not something that happened. This is planned. This has been planned for a while to get people off the government assistance. Okay. So my advice to you is, if for those who are not working, go to work. Okay. Thank you for the thumbs up. Who gave me a thumbs up? Thank you. Go to work if you're young. And even if you're in your 40s, and if you're not handicapped, if you're not suffering from some type of joint pain or whatever's keeping you from working, why not? Why aren't you out there working? It depends on the state you live in United States. But even Florida, their pay rate went up high, and Florida's was the lowest. That's why I moved out of Florida. I lived there for 1 year, and I thought I couldn't live in Florida as a single mom because the pay rate was so bad. But I heard that the pay is better. Okay. But different, go look at what's the income minimum wage where you live. Here in Connecticut, it starts $16.30 or 35 cents. But I'm looking on my daughter's sending me all these job things. Even today we were talking about some of them. And some of them start you at $24, even though this state minimum wage is $16.30. So yeah, some of them it's going to be higher, $24. Some of them are going to be above 16, maybe 16. Okay. So why don't you just get a job that you like to do and do it? I been a single mom all my two kids' life. Okay. But I worked hard as a single mom, and the minimum wage back then was lower. The rents were lower too. I think until 2012, I was paying $900 of rent, something like that. But now the rents are ridiculous. So we're going to talk about that. How you could save more money, things we have to do to survive. This is like I should have named it Survivor video. But anyways, um yeah, so go out there. There's where I live anyways. I only could speak for the state I live, but where I live there is a lot of jobs available. If you don't have to stick in your city, go. There's people that don't want to go to a different state, I mean a different city to work because they don't have a car. Well, that's just, there are transportation like buses and trains. Even people that have cars, they take the train, they take the bus because they want to save money on that gasoline. Okay. So yeah, so get a job where, look at your train schedule, and then go by that. Like if you have to go to another town to look for a job, if they start at 8, see if your train starts running at 6 in the morning so you could get there on time. Right. So we need people need to start looking for work, because in December they looking to just cancel all this altogether. Okay, the SNAP program. So if you look at the history of, before it used to be called food stamps, now it's called snaps. If you go look on YouTube and look up the history about this, it was always to keep the poor from growing um, in life, from having good jobs, having your nice house, your piece of land you want to buy with a house. They didn't want you to have all that. So they target all the single moms. They target mainly, I'm not saying all, because there are some Caucasian people that are on SNAP, lots of them, but they were targeting the Black community, the Hispanic community. They didn't want us to have, they wanted to give you this free money, which they used to give cash. Now it's very difficult for people to get cash. But back then they were just giving it out, cash and food stamps. So go look at the history about that. And it's what was the video's name? I think it was like, I'll see if I put it in the comment section of the replay of this video. A few of these videos I'm talking about. We talking about 1960s, 1970s. And the whole thing was to keep you poor, to keep you from growing and being successful in your life, because and to keep you from having a father and a father in the household. So I'm not going to get too much into the detail of that. I'll put because I don't want to make this video to be too long. I'll put the link down below so you can see how they were trying to keep the fathers out of the home, because if the mom gets SNAP and she had a father in the home, she didn't get SNAP. So yeah, so go check that out. All right. So that's number one. Start looking for work right now. Now I want to talk about the it's best for you to start looking for work right now because of what I just showed you of the requirements. Okay. So for December, right, it's not guaranteed for you to have SNAP. Okay. So a lot of you recipients who get a lot of money in SNAPs probably have larger families. Okay. I have some advice for everybody for grocery tips. Okay. So number one, when you go to the grocery store, try to shop around in the outside of the groceries and store, and not in the middle aisles of the grocery department. Okay. Sometimes you do have to go in the middle aisle to get certain things, and I will discuss about those. So so shop in the outside of the grocery store is more healthier for you. Do not buy any processed food, frozen food, already cooked food. So those are very expensive when you add all that up. And there's ways that you can save money if you just cook your meals. Okay, cook your meals. Okay, cook your breakfast, cook your lunch, cook your dinners. Okay, that's how you're going to save more money than buying all this processed food, frozen pizzas, hot pockets, frozen dinners. You can make your own dinners, your own. And if you don't know how to cook, Okay, I understand you don't know how to cook, but everybody had to learn. So if you don't know how to cook, then YouTube has a lot of cooking videos. Your grocery stores have so many recipes on their websites. Okay, free recipes on all. A lot of stores have websites, grocery stores, and they have a section with recipes. Okay, go to the library, get a cooking book. Okay, get your feet wet in cooking. It's not that hard. Okay, so that's what my advice for you is. So first buy the food that is outside the grocery store. Then once you do that, you go in the middle. Is the only time you go in the middle is for first thing I want you to buy is your meats, your rice, your beans, okay, and breakfast, lunch, and dinner. All right. So what I would suggest is let's talk about rice. All right. For those who eat rice, rice is the cheapest grain there is, and you don't have to be picky about name brands. We're not in a position for that right now. We're in survivor mode, right? So so the great value from Walmart, I buy that rice all the time. I don't have a problem with it. And sometimes I get brown rice. And so um it's a 20 pound cost less than $12. 20 pounds, okay? Less than $12. All right, 20 pounds. Some of you people get 400, 500, $600 a month in SNAP. Hey, hi, welcome. You just had rice and curry. That sounds awesome. Hi, Awilda. God bless you, my sister, and welcome, Natal, and I can't say the rest. Welcome. Forgive me for that. Welcome, and I think you're new here. So, listen, what I do every month. All right, when I can. There's some months I don't do it. I always buy. It's a family of two, but I think of my grandson and my other daughter who don't live with us. So I buy cheap. The rice is so cheap. I buy 40 pounds a month. Sometimes I buy 3 bags of that. And so what I do is you buy for what you need for the month, okay, according to your family size. Now plan your meals for the week. Just you plan the meals for the week, you're going to save more money than going to the grocery store and buying with your eyes. Okay, what your eyes see, right. So that's normally what us human do. Like when we have a dish in front of us or we see some food at front of the restaurant, a picture, or oh, that looks good, I want that. So you buy and eat with your eyes. No, make a grocery list. Okay, a lot of these grocery stores have the website where you can make the list on there. Okay, but you could just do your list. I do mine on a piece of paper. Okay, and I take it to the store and I try to stick to it 100%. Sometimes I see something, I'm like, oh man, and I'll get that one thing, but I try not to get too much that is not on my list, because then you're spending more money than you have to. We're on survivor mode. Okay, so go, if you have in your Walmart or your any grocery stores, I believe has a baking department where they bake their own cakes and stuff. You go to the counter, you ask the girl, hey, do you have 5-gallon buckets available? Walmart sells it for $1. That's the only place I get it. $1 with the lid, 5-gallon buckets. So that's a food grade bucket. And it's not costing you an arm and leg like if you go to Home Depot, right? If you go to Home Depot and other places, they might cost $4 or $5 a bucket, and sometimes without the lid. Okay, so go to your Walmart and get this 5-gallon bucket. One time I bought like 5 at a time, and then I bought some later on. What you do is take it home, wash it with some soap, really good, really good. Let it dry 100%. Wait a couple days. I dry it with a paper towel, and then I wait another 24 hours, and I make sure it's very dry and the lid and very clean. You get a 5-gallon a bucket. 1.5 bags of the 20-pound, I believe, fits in that gallon, or 2.5. I can't think about it right now. I'm not home. I'm at my daughter's house, so my buckets are at home. But anyways, let's just assume it's 1.5 bags of the $20, $12, 20 pound of the rice. You put it in there. You put what I do is in the bottom I put a few of the dry basil in the bottom. Then I put keep filling up with rice. Then I put a few more basil. I put it a few times in there. It keeps the bugs away. But if you seal it really tight, and the bugs will not go in there. Okay, so I put basil, rice, basil, rice, basil. Okay, then I fill it to the top. I seal it. I right now have two of those buckets full for emergency. I have not touched it in months. Months. And one time I found a 20 bag of flour, I mean, rice in my kitchen. I forgot I even had it. Because what I do is I get these tin containers that holds probably 10 pounds of rice. I got two of those. I filled that up with rice, and that's what I concentrate on. So when that's finished, I go and buy more rice, and I still have my security rice. Okay. You should have at least 3 months of security food. All right. So, then you go and make another bucket for your dry beans. Dry beans. Okay. Fill that up with dry beans. Then, now you buy your meats. Okay. You're gonna we stop buying cereal. We don't buy cereal anymore. What we eat is, and everybody has their own preference, but cereal's really bad for you and your children. So we stop that. So we buy oatmeal. And always when you buy in bulk, you save money. Look at the ounces when you buy like a 1 pound oatmeal, and then a bulk size one. Okay, the price goes by ounces. You save money more when you're buying bigger bulks. Okay, bulk of whatever you're buying. Walmart has a section. I keep saying Walmart because that's where I could afford right now. But sometimes I do go to big wide other stores because Walmart does not put sales sometimes, a lot of times. Sometimes they have a little rollbacks, but I like the grocery stores because they put sales like buy one get one free, two for $5, and so I take advantage of that. So your rice, your beans, your meat, okay, and then get your breakfast done. Don't go buy if you get a lot of money in SNAP. Why are you buying 1 dozen of eggs? Go to Walmart. They got the 60 count eggs, especially if you have a big family. The 60 count egg, I think it's about $11, $12 right now in Connecticut. I don't know how much it is where you live. It varies in different states. But still, you're saving more money buying, especially you eat eggs. You use eggs for breakfast. You eat eggs, you use eggs for baking. You know what I mean? So buy in bulk. You need eggs for some recipes too, cooking recipes. Buy the 60 eggs. And you don't have to worry about it. My 60 eggs one time lasts me 2 months. Always look at the expiration date. I love eggs, but also I use eggs for my cooking. So don't buy 112 count of eggs. It's a waste of money. So hello, everybody coming in. Health. Yeah, I know, but some people cannot afford the expensive rice. If you could afford expensive rice, organic rice, okay, go for it, you know. But remember, we're trying to survive in this economy and we're trying to live. Okay, look at the package. If the rice says that they bleached it or anything like that, maybe you don't want to buy those. Okay. Hi, Outlaw Junior. Welcome in. How you doing? Wilda says, and I'm on YouTube's live. I'm not on StreamYard, so I can't share any of your comments on the screen. Elaine, if they get so much in SNAP, don't you think they should not buy the most expensive items? They don't know how to budget. Right. And what I'm talking to about and I'm sharing, it's not expensive. But the people that get a large amount of money, they're going to be able to buy food for at least that month and maybe security for 2 more months if they do what I'm going to say right now. I'm sharing this live. The Spanish supermarket always have sales. Yes, amen. We have one over here. Well, not my town, but the town up. Um, And I do shop there because they have like so many different food from different countries. That's a really nice idea if you don't have what? It's truly an excellent idea for I bought the 31 gallon Walmart 31 gallon metal trash can of Walmart. Sales, not food grade though. I bought two of the eights. Okay. Um below 10 and oh, okay. So, yeah, so these are just tips I want to share with you guys. Okay, this is what I do. I don't go out to restaurants anymore. First of some of that those places you don't know where they're getting their meat. You don't know where they're getting their food. If somebody wants to invite me to out to eat or something, yeah, why not? But unless I'm somewhere out of town and I can't help it that I can't cook, I will go to a restaurant. Okay, that's very rare. Okay, I love to cook. I cook my breakfast, my lunch, my dinner. Most sometimes I skip meals every day. That's another way I save on food, but not because um. Well, I'll share that in a minute. So go to the I don't want to get off topic. Go to your Walmart. Even if you don't shop at Walmart, even if you don't like Walmart, just go to your Walmart and get that 5 gallon bucket for $1. I'm just going to tell you, you're going to save a lot of money. So I do that at Walmart, and then I fill it up with things. Okay, so we cover rice, we cover beans. Beans is good to buy them in bulk as like 8 pound bags that they have. Okay, so beans are very healthy for your family. Let's say if you don't have meat, then you have your full meal would be beans. What's considered a full meal is beans and rice is like a full meal, what you need for nutrients, especially if you're eating brown rice. And if you only got white rice, hey, yes, it's going to be a full meal. But you have more minerals and vitamins in the brown rice, and also lentils. Lentils are so super, super food. You know, my kids didn't like beans, and I'm not talking about my oldest daughter. I'm talking about my grandson, and my youngest daughter didn't like beans. But I started buying lentils, and lentils are really tiny, tiny, tiny beans, super food. And I put that in my rice with beans, or I sneak it, and they eat it. They eat it, and sometimes it's so tiny they can't even see that it's there. Okay, but it's there. So lentils are very healthy. Um, so then when you buy meat, let's talk about meat. So don't go buy those little packs of family pack they have at the grocery store. You're wasting your money. Like, let's talk about chicken. You get like a 10-piece chicken, right? It might cost you $8, $9. Some of them are $11. But look at how many ounces, how many pounds is in that pack. Okay. Which two that I always like to buy unless I don't have enough money for it. But all right. So one is the 10 pound, listen carefully, 10 pound of the Purdue chicken, antibiotic and all that stuff in it. It's not organic, but I pray for my food before I eat. Okay. For some reason, God said, pray for your food, blessing over your food so it will not harm you. Maybe He knew that in the future the food system was going to have a problem. Okay. So 10 pounds of the chicken is less than $9. 10 pounds. I bought two of those in October, and one bag, to my surprise, had, because usually it's 18 to 20 pieces. One bag had, I'm sorry, both bag had 24 pieces. Okay. And so what I do is I buy Ziploc bags, freezer bags, and I put there according to what for me and my other daughter. Okay. Sometimes I put 4 pieces because I hate to waste the space of the bag. But if I put 2 pieces in, 4 pieces there, then I would cook two double the recipe, okay, for another day, or you could freeze it. All right. So yeah, so you could do the 10-pound bags. Again, this is bulk, right? So you're saving more money in bulk sizes. 10 pounds of chicken for $8. Think about that. If you buy two for 1 month, right, that's only $16. Okay. And then get 5 pounds of ground beef. But before we go to ground beef, the next chicken I would advise you to get is the whole bird. Okay. Because sometimes you miss the wings and maybe the white chicken. Okay. But the whole bird, there's so many recipes here on YouTube. How many dishes for you could cook, so many different recipes with one bird of chicken. So sometimes you could cook 5 different meals with um one bird of chicken, a whole bird of chicken, a whole chicken, you know. So go check out those videos on YouTube. That's number 2. So number 3, if you like ground beef, in my family every month we have to have ground beef because my daughter's Italian. She'll love pasta. So we use ground beef, but then I have the other one that's cheaper for you guys that I have tried and my daughter has eaten it. Because sometimes you can't buy ground beef, okay? So let's say ground beef. Don't go buy those little packages of ground beef. Ground beef has gotten so expensive, right? So at Walmart, another Walmart, because my Walmart doesn't sell these, they have these 1 pounders tubes that cost almost $7 for ground beef. But at my Walmart over where I live, 2.5 pound is $14. Now, I will always say 5 pounds. Some places 5 pounds you're probably gonna spend $20. Okay. $20. Now you get yourself another cheap food is pasta, people. Who doesn't love pasta? And again, this goes according to writing down the recipes for the meals you want to cook for the week. In my house, we have to have pasta once a week at least. So I get pasta. I buy enough for 3 months because it's so cheap, guys. Come on. 3 months. So I just need 4 boxes for 1 month. So for 3 months, I need 12 boxes. So what's 12 boxes? $12. Okay. 1 pound of pasta, $12. My daughter loves the elbow one. So we get a lot of elbow. And then we love lasagna. So sometimes I'll get the lasagna. Okay. But let's just, right. So then you got your ground beef now and you got your pasta. When you go buy spaghetti sauce, don't go buy these spaghetti sauce that are 16 ounces, guys. Get the 32 ounces or more. You're going to save money. Just when you go shopping, look at the ounces, look at the price on the shelf. It would say the ounces, what is, how many cents per ounce? Look at that. Okay. And then look at the ounces on the jar. Okay. So one big, what is it we buy? 32 ounce lasts us for at least 2 weeks because I use half for that one dinner recipe and then I use the other one. So I really only need 2 of those a month. Okay. So now if I want to, but I buy probably enough for 3 months. Okay. So then what's cheaper than ground beef? Ground turkey, ground chicken. Okay. I have cooked, my daughter would probably not want to eat ground turkey. She'd rather have ground beef, right? But, we can't give our kids always what they want. We want to make sure that they're fed. We want to make sure that we're going to have that food there for them in the house and that we're going to have enough food for that week, for that month, for 3 months, whatever, right? So ground turkey comes in a tube at Walmart and I love it. I have bought it at Walmart here where I live. Don't sell it. I have to go up to another town, another Walmart. I'm telling you, some Walmarts sell different things that other Walmarts don't sell. You got to keep your mind on that. So it's always good to shop at different Walmarts. Don't stick to your same Walmart. Okay. And so I went to the one up there. And then the one in New Haven has the tube I'm talking about. It's Italian turkey, ground turkey, and then the Italian one and another one. So I bought, guess how much they were? 1 pound for $1 something. 1 pound of the ground turkey. I'm going to buy these foods and make another video to show you guys. But 1 pound of the ground turkey is less than $2. So buy a few of those for when you you run out of ground beef. Okay, so a pack of ground chicken is way less than a pound of ground beef. If you look at the ground chicken, it's about 3 something. Okay, and a lot of time they put those on sale. at the other stores, not Walmart. Okay, I don't buy all my food at Walmart. I love to also go shopping at another store. So so there we go. We have ground beef, ground turkey. We got chicken, ground beef, ground turkey. Okay. And what could you do with the ground beef? Just like the whole chicken. There's so many things you could do with the ground beef. Okay. So you can make, like I said, pasta with it, or you can make like what is it that my daughter was making the other day? Oh my gosh. You know, with the beans and everything. Oh gosh. Chili. You can make chili, a pot of chili. Pot of chili will last you for a long time, for at least a couple of days. But what I do is once I cook the food and is I cook extra, you buy Ziploc bags, and that food you cook, you put in a Ziploc bag or a Tupperware that you could put in a freezer, and put in a freezer. Now you got something for next week already cooked. Okay, do that if you could do that with especially people with smaller family. If you could do that with 3 dinners of the week, you're already saving time and money. You're making three extra dinners for the following week or even the weekend. Okay, if you're like working busy person. All right, so now we got cover that. And then for breakfast, man, let's talk about flour. Okay, for anybody that is healthy and is not on diabetes, not a diabetic, um and have children. Okay, but this is for everybody, right? That could have, and there's all different kinds of flour, but the cheapest is the white. Let's get real. But if you could buy the more expensive flour, like wheat, you could mix wheat with the white. It's a little more healthier. Or also barley. Okay. So there's different flours. Okay, but I like to buy the white one first because I go to Walmart and I get me a 30-pound of bag of flour. Now I'm going into inside the middle aisles of the grocery store, and I'm not buying any processed food. So I'm getting flour. Okay. Then I'm gonna get my sugar, get a 10-pound of sugar, right? And then whatever you could buy. But sugar is getting very expensive. And the bigger you bulk, more pounds you buy, the more you're going to save. You're going to need sugar for the month, right? So for those who have sugar, so sugar, you get your sugar, you get your salt, you get you got your eggs, and then you get yeast. So a 3-pack yeast is less than $2, guys. There are the instant yeast and the other one that is not instant. Okay. So I use flour to make my own breads, to make my pizza dough, to pancakes. There's your breakfast. Muffins. There's your breakfast for your kids. You can add a little fruit to it. Um, it's not the healthiest, but they're going to eat. And sometimes I think that a muffin is better than cereal, a box of cereal. Read all the ingredients that's in back of a cereal. I don't care if they say that you're getting 15% protein. Okay. So, so you can make your waffles. You can make cakes. You can make desserts for your kids instead of buying a cake that's already made at the bakery at Walmart and any store. Oh, I want to buy strawberry shortcake for my kid. Then make it yourself. Oh, I want to buy. This is cheaper than even buying a box of cake. Remember we used to buy a box mix of cake mix? It used to be like 99 cents. Yeah, right. Go look now. Okay. I had gotten 4 boxes of cake mix maybe 4 months ago because for that holiday it was on sale and it didn't have an expiration date for another 2 years. And that's another thing. You have to look at the expiration date for another 2 years. But I would never pay more than $2 for no more than $1. I paid $1. They were on sale for $1. I said, oh my gosh, I haven't seen this price in so long for a cake mix. So I have a young one at the house. Sometimes I have to think about the things that she likes to eat. So if I see it on sale, I grab it for the future whenever. And we still have them. We still have 4 boxes of cakes mixed because she's not been in a mood to eat cake, but it's there. Obviously, we're going to use it before it expire. We have 2 years. So You can make cakes. You can make everything that you see at Walmart in the bakery section. You can make pies. You can make for instead of buying potato chips, don't buy junk food for the month of November with your SNAP, okay? Because remember, we don't know what's going to happen in December. So make their snacks, do it yourself. Um, it's healthier for them than getting a bag of chips, Oreos, all that other junk that we buy for our kids, right? So I stopped buying a lot of that junk. Okay. It saved me so much money cooking my own. That's why I'm sharing it with you guys. So a lot of recipes when you use flour for baking requires very little, and some of them requires the yeast, butter sometimes, eggs, right? But some of it, like my flatbread, for my flatbread, a lot of recipes for pancakes, you don't need that. For pancakes, flatbread, what else? Well, I use also for my muffins, I don't put eggs in it. Okay. So you do need some oil sometime. So for my flatbread, water, salt, and the flour. That's it. And I make a delicious flatbread. If you want the flatbread a little sweeter, you can add a little sugar like the store does. That's why you love it from the store, because it's just full of sugar. It's full of sugar. Okay. That's why a lot of people are obese with diabetes, because if you look at the ingredients, a lot of the top ingredients is sugar, corn syrup, a lot of bad stuff for you. Okay, so let me go back to the chat room. I like baked chicken, especially if I don't find any food I don't get from the dumpster. Oh, Junior, I'm so sorry. You have to go to the dumpster to buy food. Well, some people love to go to the dumpster too. To one, because they don't have enough money. Two is because they are throwing a lot of good food out, especially some restaurants and stores in the dumpster, which is very sad. Hey, Jeanette, how are you? Welcome in. Welcome in. Thank you for being here. Deep freeze is good too, only if you have money for it and your electricity not horrendous like mine's on a SS check, which I wasn't. Okay. Thank you for the tip, Junior. Get a deep freezer. Yes, get a deep freezer, guys. I always had a deep freezer. And that's another tip I'm going to share about the deep freezer. And my youngest daughter says she's going to buy me one. We just haven't been able to get it yet because we had car problems, but soon that's almost over. Yay! My car's going to be running soon. Well, I say my car, but it's my daughter's car. It's not mine, but I drive it because she don't have her license. Okay. But she said, Mommy, it's a family car. I'm like, okay, but just because it's a family car, girlfriend, you still got to get your license. All right. So, um, the car's at the dealer right now, so I'm excited. Right before it gets really cold, because I don't know about your state, but the last 2 days has been cold here, and it snowed 2 days ago. It snowed here 2 days ago, so it wasn't much, but it snowed, and other places in Connecticut, which we are still in fall. Yeah. Um, some don't like the taste of fiber. One, yet I buy the what is it? Generics and have not checked the ingredients list though. My mom used to eat, and you could buy food that has high in fiber. Food that's high, like beans are high in fiber, but there are other foods that are high in fibers. Saying hello to Jeanette. Not a lot of money. Trust God about that. Amen. God got a what? Oh, penny. So did my daughter. 90 cents a pound, and chicken cutlets at 99 cents a pound. Yes, guys, look at your flyers every week. Okay. So now I gave you an idea about flour. Okay. Get those 5 gallon, one of those 5 gallon of buckets, put your flour in there. Okay. I have my flour in these huge containers that I bought. I think a few at Walmart. I found a few at the thrift store. If the containers, they got the clear ones at Walmart with the blue lid on top, or turquoise color. Anyways, I had two huge ones, and I put my flour in that, not the whole 30 pound, because I had already used uh half of that already. Okay, remember, I bought this 30-pound rice, last me and my daughter months, because we don't eat, I don't even eat like cupcakes and things like that, and so my daughter really doesn't either. We only eat if we're in the mood for it, and that's rarely to make like muffins and things like that. I love to make it for my grandson because he loves it, but that's very rare. We use the flour for that. I usually use my flour for my breads, for pizza dough, pancakes if I don't have a pancake mix. But I still have a pancake mix box. But once that's finished, I'm not buying no more pancake mix. I'm using and making my own pancake mix with this flour because it's cheaper. All right, let's talk about flour. White flour. I know that the rice, when you put it in a 5-gallon bucket, like I told you, with Bailey's and sealed, can last you for 30 to 35 years, guys. That is a fact. Look it up. Google it. Okay. Don't just take my word for it. Google it. Also, it was in a show with a documentary, a history about uh, when the Israelites were traveling, and wait, no, it wasn't it was Israel, but it was when Moses had already died, and then Joshua took over, and then Joshua came and the guy got turned down, tear down the walls of Jericho. There's a documentary there where it shows where the Israelites took over and they live in certain parts there. Some of the ruins are still there. Okay. And what did they find there? Grains. And that time it wasn't rice. I think it was barley. And they found grains still there. It lasts a very long time, guys. So get a 5 gallon a bucket. I'm not saying save it for 35 years. I mean, we don't know how long I'm gonna live here, but try to save rice enough for 3 months. Okay, it's very cheap. So we cover that. Okay, get a freezer. Get a freezer, because not Walmart. Sometimes Walmart have like some red tag sales. Very, very rarely, because Walmart loves their money. But your local grocery stores like Stop and Shop. I don't know what everybody else have, like Stop and Shop, like what is it, Stop and Shop, ShopRite, the ones down south. There's different names of grocery stores. Where I live, there's Stop and Shop, there's Aldi's, there's different ones. Big Y, right? So Big Y, and these other stores, they will mark the meat down, they will mark everything down. So take advantage when it's a holiday, because look at your flyers and see what they have on sale. One time my daughter just bought a pernil. She told me it was 20 pounds. We're having it for Thanksgiving. So it was 20 pounds. And how much she said she paid for it? She didn't pay no $20 for it. I'm gonna ask her how much she paid for it. I'm gonna text her. She's gonna tell me right now. But she bought a 20-pound panini. I forgot how much she told me it was for, but girl, it was cheap. I'm like, girl, where did you get it? Because I don't eat panini like that. But I'm gonna tell you about panini I bought 2 years ago, just to show you I don't eat panini like that. But if I'm going for a Thanksgiving dinner and they're making it, I would eat it. If I'm going to a family um cookout, I would eat it. But it's not something that's on my list for on my menus, my list for monthly. No, I don't eat pork like that. But I'm not gonna say I don't eat pork. And also bacon. I Ever since the prices went up, I don't eat too much bacon. I only get it when it's on sale. But I'm gonna ask her right now how much she paid for the penne. So Thanksgiving's here. Thanksgiving's near, not here. How much for She's at work. She can't talk to me right now. All right. So let me tell you about the panita I bought 2 years ago. It was 2 years ago. It was about I didn't buy a big one. It was just me and my other daughter. See, I go by the family size. So I think it was about 12 pounds, 12 pounds, something like that. 12 pounds. I think I paid $10 for it. I was so excited. I got that sucker, even though I knew I wasn't going to eat it right away, right? It was in my freezer for 2 years. We had recently a family dinner at my niece's house. So my daughter said, Mom, take out that pernil so we could cook it out of her house. And then, you take it out early on so it could defrost. And then you season that sucker up, put it in the refrigerator for another 24 hours to 48 hours because it's going to be like, mwah, the flavors, right? So you do that. We did that. I was worried about eating a pernil because it was 2 years old in my freezer. But when I cooked it, it was still good. It looked so beautiful too. It looked beautiful like when I bought it the first day at the store. So get yourself if you can, a one of those deep freezers because I take advantage when they got chicken on sale, when they got any meat on sale, you buy it in bulk. You take advantage because they don't do that often. They do that during holidays, especially like 4th of July, Veterans Day, Thanksgiving, Christmas. You could rack up for the following year. Okay. When this pandemic happened, I couldn't find, I shared this in this video. It was hard to buy a deep freezer. Everybody was panicking because we're in a pandemic. We in a shutdown. We need some food security too because the prices are going up, right? So I couldn't find one, guys. I went through online. I went on personally to the stores. Not even Walmart had a deep freezer. Okay. I had to wait another year and a half. And they had a waiting list. Like in Home Depot, Lowe's, you could be on a waiting list for the deep for them. You had to pay, but you were on the list to get one. That's how bad it was. But anyway, one day I go to Walmart and I saw them on the floor. And I didn't care if it fitted in my daughter's car or not. I bought that sucker. It was $149. Okay. When I came outside with it, my daughter was upset with me. Mom, why did you buy that? I'm going to fit it in my car. Okay. So, we got somebody else to come and pick it up and took it to my house. But I was like, I don't care. I ain't leaving this on the floor. They only have 4 left. Okay. So I took it. So also it's good to have them when you make those extra freezer meals, right? Our freezers are so big. You're not gonna be able to hold a lot of meat. Okay. So um so do that, right? Stay away from sodas, stay away from junk food, stay away from all that. You're gonna think survival right now. What is that? We need food. We need food. We don't need junk food. We need food. Start making your own lunches for work. You're gonna save money doing that. Okay, stop buying at Dunkin' Donuts. Keep for people that buy at Dunkin' Donuts every morning coffee for work with a donut or whatever, a sandwich. Why don't you add how much your say your receipts? You see how much you're spending at Dunkin' Donuts. Okay. That money that you're spending at Dunkin' Donuts, you could buy a 2-pound coffee and your day you could buy whatever you like, hazelnut, French vanilla. You want to add some spice in it. Now we're in the fall, so you want to add some nutmeg or pumpkin spice. They have all those spices in the store. You can make your own, just like they make it at Dunkin' Donuts. And Dunkin' Donut is not really healthy. It's artificial flavor. So all right, so you could use your real spices. Okay, so you're gonna save money. Stop eating out. All right, unless you can't help it. Unless you can't help it. Okay, so that's how you're gonna save money. Okay, so now because you didn't buy junk food, and always buy food that your family love to eat. Buy food to cook. Don't buy any freezer. Don't buy nothing for the freezer that's already cooked. Don't buy hot pockets. You can make your own hot pockets. Hot pockets have very ingredient list like this, and half of that stuff you can't even pronounce it. No hot pockets. Don't buy no. Why are you buying a bag of already cooked pancakes? Because oh, I don't have time to cook it in the morning. Let me just buy the one that is frozen, and then I could just throw it in the microwave. That's not healthy. Did you know that if you make the pancakes the night before, I have done that because if I'm going to be too busy in the morning, I for my kids, I would cook it the night before. I go to bed. Pancakes is quick to make. Then you put in a Ziploc bag, put in the refrigerator. The next day, you don't even have to put it in the microwave. I don't like using the microwave a lot unless I have to. But you could either heat it up in the microwave or you could heat it up on the stove. Um, One of the cheapest meal too is because kids love Eggo waffles. So once every few months I buy it because my daughter likes it. I don't have a waffle machine. I gotta buy one. So that's why I buy it. But 24 of those waffles are and not cooked are because you still have to put them in the I guess they are cooked, but you still have to put them in the oven or in the toaster. So those waffles 24 is less than $6, 24 of them. Okay. So you could buy that for your kids. Okay. Your kids could eat more eggs, more yogurt with probiotic in it, more fruit. Okay. You don't got to go buy a lot of fruit. Buy just for that week. Okay. Me and my daughter, I get a strawberries, blueberries, bananas. To me, that is the most important is the berries. The berries is more important to me. Okay. If I have a little extra for a bag of apple, okay. If I don't have enough for a bag of apple, because bag apples are expensive sometimes. But if I don't have enough for a bag of apple, I buy 4 apples. I buy 3 apples. I buy two. At least I have apple for the week. Okay. So do that. Um, so you save more money when you're buying frozen, also strawberries and blueberries. I cannot tell you how many times my family don't eat the fresh ones on time, and that goes to the garbage can, okay, or to my garden, to my compost. So I stopped that. I only buy fresh strawberries once in a while in the summer, but now throughout to next summer, I buy frozen ones. One bag lasts me a month and also blueberries. Okay. When I run out, I run out. That's it. Okay. If I cannot have it for the budget, I already had it. I'll have it when I can have it again. All right. That to me is something extra, right? You have to buy the main food for your family. Okay. You can make your own chicken nuggets. Stop going to McDonald's. McDonald's is so bad for your family. Stop going to McDonald's. Why do you think they make it so cheap? Huh? But look how many times I know people that don't, I know, heard of people that don't cook and they eat out every day. And they say it's cheaper. It's cheaper than going buying groceries. Really? Like, my goodness. It's really bad for your health. McDonald's don't care about you. They care about their money. Okay. So I don't even know if that's real chicken. But anyways, my chicken nuggets, my recipe is way better than McDonald's. Okay. Your connection is unstable. Please wait while we are trying reconnecting. Hello, you guys still see me? How long? Okay. The flour, the flour white doesn't last as long as uh the darker color flour, like wheat flour. Okay. So the white flour lasts as long in a container than the wheat flour. But look at the expiration date. I go by that. And then you could freeze flour as well. So it could last longer. But I have my flour for about 3 months, 30 pounds for about 3 months, and it's still good. I just started buying the big pound of flour. So I could only tell you and share with you guys what I'm doing right now. Okay. So I, in the past, then buy 30 pounds of flour. So now I am because it saves me more money and I could do so many different dishes with flours. Okay. With flour and water and salt. Okay. And then for the other recipes, you might need eggs and yeast and all that. Okay. Even yeast is inexpensive. All right. My daughter, and some people say, well, I don't know how to cook. Okay. My daughter's 20 years old right now. And I think ever since she was younger, I've been teaching her how to cook. But she's been going on TikTok. She's been buying the recipe for whatever that person shared that day, whatever she was looking at, the dish. She buys the stuff, the ingredients, and she surprised us how well she made it for the first time. And it's me, my sister, me, my grandson, my other daughter as a witness. It came out so good. Okay, so it's you guys can learn. A lot of children are cooking, love to cook. Um, just take out time to learn. You're gonna save more money. So now because you didn't buy junk food and you didn't buy sodas, right? Now from your SNAP money, you have that extra money that you would have spent on junk food. Now you could save that money and buy money for December's food. Okay. You have to do that now because December is not guaranteed, guys. So that's why I'm sharing this with you guys. If you could buy an extra 20 pounds of meat, 20 pounds of rice, and look at the sales. I still have in a bin 6 months ago. The rice was beans, Goya, and Big White had bush beans, 5 for $5. I haven't seen beans for $1 for a 16-ounce can in so long. And this is not dry beans. These are the ones in a can. So I still got them. I only used a few. I still got them. All right. I bought $30 worth of beans. Okay. And then the soup, Campbell soup, and these other soups, they are cheap right now, but sometimes they go on sale in other stores. So I bought mine on sale, and even Walmart put some on sale. So soup has your protein, your fat, your carbs, and your veggies. All right. So you got everything in a can of soup. Okay. That you need nutrition in one meal. Okay. And now you got your flour. So maybe you can make some biscuits. Maybe you can make some biscuits and eat it with the soup. Maybe have some crackers. Maybe you could just toast some bread with it. Okay. So when the soup, I still have, we ate a few of those cans. So um, I I try to buy 10, let me see, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 5 at the time because they were $1.99 can. And so I buy 10 and I put it away. Then I go somewhere else. I find another sale and I buy 10 more. See what I mean? You don't have to buy so many to start a prep emergency pantry. Okay, that's what we're doing. So now you're going to work for December and try to buy more. Now, well, if you run out of chicken, if you run out of ground beef and you have no more money, this is why it's always good to have canned meats and also corned beef. Corned beef right now is probably 3 something a can at Walmart. But that gives us 4 servings for me and my daughter. 4 servings, 1 can of corned beef. Okay. Now we haven't had corned beef in months. I just buy it to make sure I have it. And even my eldest daughter went over there about a month ago and got because she sees my stash and she goes and takes and I'm like, oh, okay. She took corned beef. So I still had corned beef. The other 2 nights ago we had corned beef and it was enough for the next day. So I always make sure instead of making 2 cups of rice, I make 4 cups of rice so that now we have dinner for 2 days. Okay. So we add a little French fries to it, we add, so yeah. So one thing you want to make sure you also have is seasoning and make sure you have, your salt, your sugar, um, all the cooking ingredients you need. Okay. So sharing this with you guys so that you can take the steps to try because we don't know what January 2026 is going to look like, guys. So try to get extra food for December. So now December comes, you might not have chicken, stuff like that. Well, then go buy that 1 pound of ground beef for less than $2. Buy 4 of them. Sardines. Some people don't like sardines. Oh my gosh, I don't know why. I love sardines and they're full of nutrition. I put I saute some onions and peppers, and then I put my can of sardine, and I always get the one with olive oil because that's your oil right there that you could use to saute it. You don't got to add oil. So I saute it. Sardines, if you buy the Walmart brand, they're 98 cents a can. But I buy both. But lately I've been buying the Bumblebee one. The Bumblebee's $1.19 a can. I go to the store. I don't bring home, depending on the money, I bring home at least, oh, you know how they come in that tray? I take the whole tray. That's 12 sardines of a tin can in that tray. They're going to cost me about, if they're $1.19, it might cost me a little less than $14 for those 12, maybe $15, right? So I always save my sardines too for a rainy day. One time I had sardines for 3 months because wasn't having it all the time. But sometimes I have some beef or chicken for my youngest daughter. See, us parents, we sacrifice ourselves for our children. So sometimes I don't have enough for me. So I have my sardines because I know she doesn't like sardines, but I love it. If I could eat sardines all the time, I will. But we only could have, I think, 2 servings of fish a week or something like that, or sardines. So there you go. You got your sardines. Okay. And so salchichas. You know those little sausages that come in a can? It comes sometimes. I buy the 12, the 12. I grew up eating this stuff. So I had a single mom who had 2 jobs, 4 kids. So the 12 cans of these little salchichas that come in a can, like the Goya sells it. What how they call them in English? They're not they're sausages, little sausages in a can. I think it's Vinny, one of the brands, Libby, Goya. Anyways, I just made some the other day. Okay. And that can, you chop them up and you could be surprised how much it is. And so I would put that with my rice, cook it together with the rice, like red rice, or I would saute it in the side with onions and things like that. And I put it as a side dish with my rice. I mean, that is 12 of those, three something for 12. Okay. Like I said, the bigger bulk you buy, the more you're going to save. So now we have no more chicken, or I can't have chicken because I have to save it for my youngest daughter. Then I eat the sardines. I eat the, maybe your kids like sardines. Maybe your kids are going to like what I'm saying. The foods that I'm sharing here. Who knows? If you don't give it to them, how would they know? So get yourself a 20 pound, I mean, a 10 pound or 20 pound bags of potatoes. Okay. Stop buying 2 or 3 potatoes. Stop buying the 5 pounds. If you buy the 10 pounds and up, it's cheaper. Okay. Cheaper. Unless sometimes recently Big White had 5 pounds for $1.99. Sometimes they buy one, get one free. So now if you buy 2 of the 5 pounds, you pay $4, less than $4, $3.90 something for a 10 pound bag. So always make sure you have potatoes, okay? Because potatoes good for you use that for breakfast, lunch, or dinner. Okay. Um, let's see what else. Let's talk about beverages. All right. No soda. You're wasting money. Soda's been very expensive. So I used to buy. I just recently bought. I go to the Walmart's Primo machine. It's a water filter machine where you could bring your own water container from your house that you save for when you have water before, bought water or gallons of milk, and you wash them up. And I bring it, and that's 42, 46 cents. Lately, it went down from 46 cents to 42 cents a gallon of filtered water. It is much cheaper than you're buying these 16 ounces. Um, and I just filled this up with this, but we're going to talk about this. So 16 ounces of probably 24 bottles of this water. My brother did the math with the 48 count, and he said it was cheaper getting the Primo 1 gallon for even 46 when it was 46 cents. I get 5 gallons. I bought, it was about 2 something. 5 gallons, 2 something. Okay. But I'm going to stop that now because I need to save more money. So what we're doing next is this picture here. So it's cute, right? Pink. It was October was breast cancer awareness. So Target had this one in pink, but you could get any pictures, water filters. Okay. So this costed $15, and they got the bigger one with the filter already. Okay. So this will last me 2 months. This right here, this that filters your water and cleans your water, 2 months. Okay. Then you go to Walmart, Target, whatever, wherever you shop. Go see who has the cheapest. I have bought in Walmart before a box of 3 of these filters, okay, from $15 to $18. Now, they say 2 to 4 months. You got to keep an eye on this light here that it turns green when you pour it, and then when it's red, it means you need to replace it. It can last 2 to 4 months, depending how much you use it. Okay, so in 8 months, if I buy the $15, which comes 3 of these, and this one, let's say I have to change it every 2 months. 2, 4, 6, 8. Um, wait, 8. That's 8 months, right? Every 2 months. Yeah. So 8 months, I spend $15 for this container, $15 to $18 for the and if you don't got the money to buy the filter, you still got 2 months. Okay. But I like to buy it ahead of time. But so then you paying $30 for filter water that for clean water that you're going to use, your sink water, right? And this is going to keep it clean for you and filter. $30 for 8 months is cheaper than buying big packs of 48 counts of water, whatever you guys buy, and then the filter water from Primo. This is cheaper. Okay. So invest in one of these. And also and you could buy the Pure PUR brand that connects to your faucet. You could buy that lasts 6 to 12 months. Okay, so Google all this stuff and it will tell you how long it will last. Buy whatever you could afford and which one you like better. So it's best to get one of these. Okay, then what I like to do with this is now that the winter's here, we get these bad snowstorms or whatever. Even people that have hurricanes, we get some hurricanes here, not all the time, but we get hurricanes here. So I fill up empty 1 gallon containers of emergency water. You can even do 5 buckets. I have done 5 buckets of water, emergency water. I have a garbage can of the 38 gallons, I think it is. And I save rainwater. Okay. I don't drink that one, but I use that one. I could filter it, but I use that one for if I need to flush the toilet, I need to take a bath with, I need to wash my hair, maybe I need to clean the dishes, something like that. So get one of these or get one of those, you'll save water. Now, what you can do is put some, you want some flavor in your water, go buy a bag of lemons or put a little few blueberries in there, lemon, ginger, or whatever you like. And for in 2 days, it's already infused, and now you got flavor water. You could put cucumbers, slices of cucumbers in there. Yeah, instead of buying these sodas, juices that are not healthy for you. Some juices are like cranberry juice if you could afford it. Grape, 100% grape, 100% cranberry juice, right? If you could afford it. Grape juice is really healthy for you, right? But you also can eat the fruit. But if you want to buy, if they have it 2 for $5, whatever, and you could afford it that week, why don't you get that instead of soda and bad juices for your kids? I used to buy those box of juices for my kids. That was a waste of money. I don't know why I did that. So these are just tips I'm going to share with you guys. So please, they said they're going to be sending a letter to you guys, and that by no from SNAP people, from the state. So they're sending a letter that if you are disabled, you are to send a proof by the end of the month. If you certain date. So wait till you get the letter, certain date. If not, you're not getting food stamps in December. You have to also, which is I don't think is fair, but because they should give people time to look for work and to do these volunteer hours they're talking about and all the new requirements. Um, Also like training for work and all that. they're saying that you to continue your SNAP, this what I shared with you, you have to have those requirements and send it to them, the documents, the proof, probably every month. Okay. So this is why I'm sharing with you guys. If you could work, you're better off if you could work. I know there's a lot of people out there that work and it's still not enough, but this is why I said that it's good to prep, to be a prepper, to buy seeds, guys. Even now in the winter, do you know how much is lettuce, kale, to even because I can't grow tomatoes right now. So just the cold crops, lettuce, spinach, kale, and those plastic containers, it could go to $6, $5. Right now, I have a mini garden going on in the house and outside. So I am growing, and then you could also share with your neighbors and your family. So right now I'm growing my lettuces. I got lettuce, spinach, baby choy. Um, what else? Well, I got two plants of peppers growing in my house. All this is under grow lights. And then some of the lettuces, spinach, kale, red Russian kale, primary kale, and I'm growing outside, okay, because they are cool crops. They thrive more than the spring. Okay. So you're saving money right there. And you're having you have your greens where you just, well, sprinkle a few seeds. A pack of seeds sometimes costs you $1. Sometimes they're $4 if you get it during growing season. But right now it's a lot to find, hard to find seeds because I try in the stores, but you could buy them online. Okay. But this is a tip for February is when the stores are going to start putting in stock the gardening supplies and seeds. So I have a container of 24 little plastic container. They are full of seeds. Okay. And then when I do my garden in the summer, I save, when I let plants go to seed, they flower, they go to seed. Harvest that seed from, and I don't have to buy. I'm telling you right now, I have enough pepper seeds, tomato seeds for years, and for other people. Okay, so it's very cheap. If you like lettuce, you want your kids to eat spinach, you want your kids to eat kale. You want to put them. I used to sneak kale and spinach in my kids' smoothies because they didn't like to eat it. So you like lettuce, you want some veggies, some greens, um collard greens. You could start growing radishes, carrots right now, guys. Okay, there's a lot of videos there that they are sharing how you could do this even in cold climates like us. Mainly is for cold climates because lettuce and spinach, I never was successful growing spinach in the spring because they will bolt fast. They love the cold weather. Okay. But you do have to protect them from frost. So you could put a plastic over it. You could have a little greenhouse. I have a little greenhouse I was gifted, but I have to set it up. But you could put plastic over it. You could get one of those containers that see-through plastic container, the bins. They have the color ones, and then there's the one that's see-through, white, clear bins. You make holes on the top and you put that over your plants, your winter crops, and it will protect them from the frost, the very cold weather and frost. Okay. And you could grow them indoors, guys. I'm gonna share where I have very little space. I have 3 grow lights going on right now, but I have 2 others I haven't used, and very little space where I'm putting these plants. It's not taking a lot of room in my house. And some of them you put them in the window to grow. You don't have grow lights, you have a good sunny window, then grow your vegetables there. Okay. And it's very inexpensive. You don't have to buy where the boats that says the light bulbs that says grow light because they're expensive. I found out that you just need to buy LED lights. Go to Dollar Tree. You sometimes get 4 for $1.25. You get 2 for $1.25. They have different um, packages. Always get the 4. Why get the 2? So I get the 4, and that's that's what and look it up. LED lights, you could use them as grow lights. It's doing wonders for my plants. And then you get these lamps. You get these that has a clamp in the bottom, and that's where you're going to put your it has a lamp, and then you put your light bulb in there, and then it has a cramp where you could cramp it into something so it could stay put, and then it's right over your plants. Or you could get the other ones I'm going to share that is real long ones, and it's red and blue lights, grow lights. Yeah, I have that for years. I have never had to replace them. I never had to replace those lights. I had them for years. I still haven't had to replace them. I had them for about, I would like to say, 5 years now. Okay. And I did test my electricity bill for one whole year with those grow lights. My it's energy sufficient. So it never gave me a big bill, guys. So let me see if I can look it up really quick for you guys if you're interested. You're gonna save a lot of money. That's another $20-$30 you could save on how much does salad? How long does salad last in your house? 1 week, because it gets old very fast, right? Arugula, you could grow that indoors. So the spinach, the greens, they don't last very long in the refrigerator. So when you grow it indoors or outdoors, you're gonna keep it in the dirt, and it's gonna keep it always fresh. And so usually one plant will last you, let's say a head of lettuce, it will last you 2 months. So what you do is you're gonna cut from the outside of the head lettuce, and it keeps growing and growing, and you keep coming from the outside, and it keeps growing, and you're gonna have always fresh lettuce. You don't have to worry for you to throw that your lettuce got old or your spinach and you're throwing it out of the garbage. That's throwing money away in the garbage. So, and it's also a very easy plants to grow. Very easy. Okay. So let me go in here. So if you like greens, and you could also buy what's it called? The little greens. Let me see if I could find it. But uh let me show you. Walmart sells it for cheap, but a lot of places sell these lamps I'm talking about, where you use it for to grow your plants. And people use it for different things. They even use it for, like, if you buy chickens, little chicks, and to keep them warm, they use that too for that. You know what I'm talking about? So let me use right here, grow light. Uh, let's see if I see it comes up so I could show it to you real quick. So the cheapest place I found it was Walmart.com. Um, and very inexpensive, guys. Very inexpensive. Oh, I don't see it yet. See the other. See, I have these right here. I'm going to show you right now. I have this one. I have this one, the three I told you. That's the pink and blue lights. Okay. You see, that's very flexible. You can move them around to, if you have like a let's say 5 plants or something, you have some in the bottom shelf, you have the second shelf, you can move one down, you can move one up, you can move it to whatever position you need it. Okay. So that's one. And did you see the price? And I paid $32 for mines that were three. Was it three? $32, 3 or 2 it came. I can't remember. But it was $32. But guess what? It pays for itself. It's been 5 years and I still have it. And those lamps, sometimes you have to replace uh the bulb thing. Yeah, you do. So see, this one says for, you look around, LED. See, LED. I told you, I'm not lying. You could use there. This is the LED one, and that's 4 of them there, and it's the price of $33.88. Okay, but then I want to show you the one with the clamp on that a lot of people use too. Let me see. I don't know why lamp with I'm making this video too long. I know I was. I always say I'm going to make them shorter, and There's a lot to say, though. December is almost here, guys. Oh, and I want to share one more thing before I forget, because every time I want to share something, I'm off my live and I'm like, I should have wrote this down because I wanted to share it with them. And now look at me, and I got to make another video about it. So there are different ones of these lamps, but the cheapest one is the $5.99. I don't see it here. I see the other ones. Well, it's not a regular lamp that you use for your coffee table. That's not what I'm talking about. Um, it's something like this one, but it doesn't have this here. At the end of this, it has a clamp where you could clamp it onto something, and then I usually fill up a empty 1 gallon container of water, and then I clamp it on it because it needs something heavy to hold it up, and then I put it over my plants. So it's something like that. I'm really trying to find the one I bought, but there's a lot of stuff here, and I don't want to take up too much of your time. Okay. So those are my tips, guys. And right now, there's free training also that the state offers if you want to do CNA. If you look up what they're paying your training for. It's free. Okay. Take advantage of that if you can. And so you can have a certificate, and you can find a better paying job, okay, because you took the training. Okay, so here it goes. It's in pink, but I'll show it to you. Is it red, pink, whatever? It's this one. This is the one I'm talking to you about, something like that. But my head here is silver. Okay, bigger silver. Well, it went up. This one's 1151, but I think because it's pink and it's more fashionable, but more prettier. This is the one. Whoa, they went up. I'm so glad I paid it for, but still, it's worth the money. So this is 12.99. This is the one I have, but I'm talking about 5 years ago. I paid $5.99 for them. And also, you could try Amazon, and Walmart has a lot of different companies that they have on their website. You could see who sells it for cheaper. Okay, so that's what I'm talking about. See, you could that one. I like this one because this head is also movable. Okay, you could adjust this, and then you cramp this to um a lot of different places in your house. I even grow food in my bathroom. Okay, I have. So seeds are one little seed could feed a lot of people. One seed could feed a lot of people. So imagine what it could do for you and your family. You're going to save a lot of money. So let's say a pack of lettuce, let's say it costs $1. I didn't pay more than $2 for a pack. And you know what I like about lettuces, seeds packages, and spinach, and some other ones? You get 200 seeds. You get a lot of seeds. So now you got seeds for years. And it has an expiration date on it, but I have used it past expiration date and it still grows. So you need to keep it in a cold, dark space. So I had kept mine in the containers and it was fine. I had put some in my freezer and it was fine. Yeah. So they don't want you to grow your own food. The supermarkets, they don't want you to do that. The elites, the rich people, the people that control, there's only like a handful of people that controls our food here in the United States, maybe the whole world. Okay. So these are the people that are very rich. Okay. We wanna be able to have money in our pockets too and not give it to them all the time. Okay. So if you're able to grow food, do it. Learn how to do it. I used to grow food before I came on YouTube, but I learned more when I came on YouTube. I learned there's a lot of gardeners here on YouTube that will teach you to do it. Okay. Let me go into the chat room. I had the gray and silver with white. Awesome. Plenty of time to watch. Okay. Yeah, if you can watch this video all the way, I appreciate if you watch 30 minutes now, 30 minutes another. It's already an hour and 34 minutes going on 35 minutes. But I'm gonna have to get off from here soon because I already baked the chicken like a few hours ago and I had to feed my grandson. It's 6:11, so he said to make him French fries. So I had to make him his French fries, which is not gonna take me long. Hello, Rosalie, that's here. Welcome. How you doing? Welcome in. If if you have those who are just coming in, I do appreciate it. If you want tips on how to save money in your grocery bill, what's going on with SNAP, what's going on with the government's real planning on how to save money, and yeah, watch it in the beginning, okay? But my advice is go to work, get a job if you're able to, um, because at least you have a job if they totally take out SNAP, okay? Because they're saying they're paying billions of dollars. Uh, I feel bad for the veterans that can't work and elderly and the handicapped. I feel bad for those and single moms that have children and they are working, but they just don't have enough income to, they're living paycheck by paycheck. And then, they got the nerve to do this when they allow them to raise up these rent. They allow them to put up the prices in food, the price in gasoline that you're going to need for your car when you go to work. Even the train prices went up here in Connecticut. Okay. Transportation went up. Okay. Uber's more expensive now. Um, Yeah. But at least if they take away SNAP, you have a job. Okay. This is why I'm sharing that even people that are on a SNAP, I mean, even if you are not on SNAP and you work and you have enough money for food, you should also be prepared, have 3 months of food, of emergency food, because you never know when you're going to look at me. I broke my ankle. I was like 2 years recovering. 2 years from that took me to recover. Okay. It was really bad. And then, so imagine if you get hurt at work and some of these jobs, when you get hurt at work, they don't care. They fight you nails. How you say that? To get your workman's comp. Okay. I had to hire a lawyer, but that's a video for another day. I had a really bad head injury. But anyways, so you should always have emergency food for emergency times, for hard times. Also, not just food, make sure you have money for medicine, make sure you buy enough soap, toothpaste, the essentials, shampoo, whatever, all those essentials you need, deodorant, um, what is it, any vitamins that you likes to buy, all that stuff is good to have extra as well. Bandages, alcohol, the rubbing alcohol, not drinking. Don't buy that. That's going to take you a lot of your money. But the rubbing alcohol, anything you need for, let's see. Yeah. So make a list before you go to the grocery store. Make a list of what you want to buy that week. Okay. And or the following 2 weeks. You know why I don't I buy weekly or bi-weekly or every 2 weeks? Because some other stores other than Walmart have sales. So of course I'm not going to spend on my food budget all in one day, one grocery shopping. Some people do that because they don't want to go back. Okay. No, 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 no. I look at flyers. Okay. Also, subscribe to the grocery stores. They website their websites. They have the coupons. They have their own apps. The grocery store apps will save you money. Okay, so before you do grocery, you do that, and then you go to their app, and they're gonna show you what's on sale. It comes up, and if that's something you want to buy, you just have to click on it. Okay, whoops, save that. I want to do that. Okay, now I'm going to the grocery store. I did the app. How many times I have to tell you that? I could share with you that me and my daughter, mostly my daughter, my eldest, we go to the grocery store, ShopRite, and then they got all these buy one get one free. They got $1 extra, or they have a 2 for $6, right? But if you did the coupon on their app, It's 2 for 5. So, it adds up. So, how many times we're there and she's trying to upload it and she's trying to upload it. And now it doesn't upload in the store for some reason. The Wi Fi is not working or her internet and she can't do the coupons. So, do it before the night before you're going to do groceries. Organize yourself. Organize yourself with your grocery bills, and also not just grocery bills, but whatever other essentials you need. So, do go to the app because you save more money than just going to the grocery store and throwing stuff in your cart, because you're going to regret it, because you're going to see the label, the sale tag, and it's going to say 2 for 5, and then the bottom will say online coupon, $1 more off, or $2 off, or buy one get one free. So do that. Also, Family Dollar, you could do this with even Family Dollar. You could do this with a lot of grocery stores. So Family Dollar, I like to do it too with my daughter, because some Saturdays you get $5 off 20. I'm going to share this real quick. I'm going to get off. So my experience with the Family Dollar trip. So what I did was I went into the same thing. You register with your phone number. So I did the clipping, clip, click, click, clip. I want that. I want that before I went to the store. I already uploaded to my to the website with my account. So I go to Family Dollar. Now I have coupons. I go with with coupons. At this time, I went with coupons from the newspaper. Sometimes you buy a product and it says 50% of your next purchase. Okay. It has expiration date. I say those. Okay. Look at the products you buy, because sometimes there will be coupons on them. All right. Don't just throw away the box. So cereal boxes has coupons too, and other things. So save them, cut them off, save them. Get a little box or envelope and put all your coupons in there. Okay. So that's paper coupon. You could use paper coupon and online. So I went to Family Dollar, and the stuff that I bought, $20, I got their $5 off. But the other products I bought, I had coupons for them. So from $20, I end up paying $8. Instead of $15 off with their 5, I pay $8. CVS. There are some pharmaceutical stores like CVS store. What is that? Walgreens. They have this too, where buy one get one, and then you go with a coupon. I went to CVS once, and I saved so much money. Now, when you shop at CVS, when you pay, your receipt prints out, and then it has coupons on there. I clip those and save it. They also have these machines at the store, where if you don't have the coupon, you just put in your phone number and it will print out the coupons for you with your membership, whatever. It's not membership, it's free. So you do have to register with CVS. So then they give you the little CVS card, the little CVS store card, and then they scan it and you get all the sales. Okay. But you have to clip on the coupon thing. So I have one and saved so much money. I think it was toothpaste, it was some food, but it was a lot of essential things I needed for the house: toilet paper, paper towels. I bought different things at CVS, because you keep an eye on CVS. They be having some good sales. They are expensive with their regular prices sometimes, but they got some killing sales. Okay. So, anyways, I think it was $30 and I paid like $12. I left out of there paying $12. Okay, so do your homework, learn how to coupon, take the time to do it, because I know a lot of us are busy working moms with children, husbands, working people, right? But kids are in school. Right now, with my daughter gets a little later today. I understand that. But on your day off, before you go shopping, maybe before you go to bed, maybe, you know what I mean? When you have time, to remember, you just click those coupons, sign up for the grocery stores, and Family Dollar, Dollar General does it too. They're couponing apps, so you could save more money before you go shopping. Okay, so just a few great ideas I'm sharing, because I have done it. It has saved me a lot of money. So One more tip and I'm done. I forgot what else I was going to share. But one more tip, I'm done. If sometimes we have to downsize when we're renting apartments, okay? I had to always share a room with my sister. I didn't have to always have my own bedroom. I had to share a room with my sister. Um, so we since the pandemic, a lot of people been downsizing. Okay. Um, to save money, especially now that everything's so expensive. Why are you paying a 2-bedroom apartment for 1,700 apartment? You're already paying the landlord's mortgage because he has other tenants. So the other tenants he's popping. You're already paying the landlord's mortgage. Why are you paying for a $1,700 apartment for 2 bedrooms? When you look around, there are other 2 bedrooms cheaper. Sometimes you have to move out of to another state, guys. Sometimes we have to do this to survive. Okay. I would love to have a 2 bedroom apartment, but I can't afford a 2 bedroom apartment. Not this day and age that we're living. I have a 1 bedroom apartment and I give the bedroom to my daughter. I sacrifice myself and I turn the living room, well, it's living room slash bedroom. I could make, room for both, but still, I don't have my own privacy. Okay. So this is what you need to think about. Downsize, lower rent, more money. Okay. Stop putting your heater on 70, 80. I know somebody that puts their heater on 100. Why? Okay, bundle up. Wear hats if you have to. Wear extra clothing in the house. The only time you should have a little higher is at night. Sometimes during the day, most of the times I've been turning off my heater. Okay, if I could bear it. But it hasn't been that cold lately. We only had a few days of cold. Bundle up, layer up. You want to save money. Okay, stop giving all your money to, as long as it's not going to get you sick and your children, do it. Layer up, get extra blanket. You crochet or knitters, make more blankets, get a sleeping bag. You know what I mean? And don't put that heater. I try not to put my heater more than 64, but because I live in the third floor and it's colder in the third floor than the other two lower apartments, and then the people on the first floor, they go away to Brazil for the winter months. So their heaters are off or very low. So their apartment is making the upstairs a little colder. Okay. So I'm in the third floor and I during the night, depending, I hate my heater on 70. But my daughter's room is a little colder than mine. So hers I put on 70. Mine's I put it lower. Once in a blue moon, if I depending on the weather, I put it on 70. But I can't stand having my heater on 70. Okay. So stop wasting your electricity bill also. Stop letting your kids leave the TV on all day. Sometimes your kids walk out of their room, they're outside playing, the TV's on. Get them off that TV and get them more active. Okay. The TV don't have to be on 24 hours. Do something more productive with their time and your time. Okay. But yeah, so a lot of people downside and you have to move to other states away from your family and other cities. I mean, also other cities. Maybe you have to move to another state that's maybe like if I move from here to New York, which I will never live in New York, but let's say Pennsylvania. Pennsylvania's 4 hours from here. That's not bad for me to travel from here to visit my daughter maybe once a month. Okay. If Pennsylvania apartments are cheaper. Okay. But I live 4 towns away from my daughter because that's what I could afford. And I live in a very nice place. Okay. I don't live in a city. I live in a valley. Okay. But I don't live in a place where I'm used to living. Like I love dead end streets. I love quiet streets. I don't like streets that have too much traffic. Just the people that live in that block, that comes in and out. And your mail person, UPS, whatever. Okay. No, my street is busy. Do you think I like that? No. But I have to live there because if I want a roof over my head, luxury is not important right now. Okay. And so that's what I have to do. I have my street's very busy. Okay. And I hear the train. I hear the traffic. I have my windows closed at the summer. Well, because I have AC too. But sometimes when spring comes or something, I like to open my window. But when I go to bed, I close it because it's too noisy. But when I close my window, I don't hear anything. Okay. Would I like to live in a quieter place? Yes. All right, guys. So let me stop it here. Thank you so much, guys, for watching my live and the replay. God bless everyone. If the computer's about to shut off, I am on red. God bless. Take care. And I'll see you maybe tomorrow, Saturday. So I will probably see you tomorrow in another live. Take care and think about what I said now. Bye, Junior. Bye, everybody that was here. Jeanette, everybody. And now it won't shut off. It won't shut off. All right, there it goes.